Even after all these years, the debate surrounding David Lee Roth versus Sammy Hagar continues to captivate fans and music critics alike. While both vocalists significantly contributed to Van Halen's rich legacy, the discussion often seems to overshadow the band's legendary guitarist, Eddie Van Halen. This enduring rivalry raises questions about musical identity and evolution, making it a topic of persistent fascination. In a recent interview with Mitch Lafon and Jeremy White, former Van Halen bassist Michael Anthony provided insights into the dynamic between Roth and Hagar. The conversation began when Anthony was asked about his long-standing friendship with Hagar, which dates back to the early days of Hagar's solo career. Anthony recalled the initial encounters between them, explaining how they were both part of the same musical landscape, yet their paths only crossed in meaningful ways when Hagar joined Van Halen. Anthony reminisced about the time Hagar first walked into the band's studio, 5150, remarking that at that moment, Hagar was merely curious about the Van Halen lifestyle, specifically the rumors of parties and excess. This light-hearted revelation highlighted how Hagar's initial interest was more about social exploration than a serious intention to join the iconic rock group. Their relationship quickly blossomed into a strong friendship. Anthony humorously recalled how, after Hagar joined the band, his life changed drastically, particularly in terms of material possessions. From owning just 2 cars to suddenly having a fleet of 10, Anthony attributed this whirlwind change to Hagar's influence, stating, "My wife hated me for that." This anecdote not only reflects the camaraderie they developed, but also hints at the excitement and extravagance that accompanied Hagar's era with Van Halen. However, Anthony's perspective suggests a deeper loyalty to the Hagar-led phase of Van Halen, often referred to as Van Hagar. When questioned about whether the band was selling out or merely following a natural progression, he emphasized that the band's decisions were never calculated. They did not intentionally aim for commercial success. Instead, they focused on creating music they loved. He recounted how, during the early days, the band would let their record label, Warner Brothers, choose their singles because they trusted their own instincts and creativity. A particularly interesting point arose when discussing the iconic song Jump. Anthony revealed that Roth initially resisted including it on the album, believing it undermined Eddie's status as a guitarist. Yet this moment exemplified Eddie's musical versatility, having trained in classical piano as well. Anthony noted that when Hagar joined, he brought a fresh perspective, merging his own understanding of music with the band's established sound. Hagar was not just a frontman. He contributed creatively, suggesting chord changes and arrangements, which enriched the band's dynamic. As the conversation shifted towards Eddie Van Halen's legacy, Anthony also spoke about Wolfgang Van Halen, Eddie's son, who is carving out his own path in the music industry. Anthony acknowledged the challenges Wolfgang faces, often being seen primarily as Eddie Van Halen's kid. He expressed empathy for Wolfgang's desire to establish his own identity, recognizing the weight of that legacy while understanding the need for individuality. In summary, the David Lee Roth versus Sammy Hagar debate remains a fascinating chapter in rock history, one that highlights the evolution of Van Halen's sound and the personal relationships within the band. Michael Anthony's reflections shed light on the complexities of these dynamics, ultimately emphasizing that while both singers left their mark, it is Eddie Van Halen's musical genius that continues to resonate most profoundly.